Hi guys, welcome to tonight's Q&A for men over 40. Tonight is about giving you guys as much help as we can based on your biggest sticking points with women. So whatever it may be for you, don't be shy. Go ahead and ask as many questions as you might have in the comment section. I'm going to be giving you some really valuable feedback on how you can improve with women straight away. So I am a dating coach. I'm 35 years old. I've been doing this for about 9 years. And I'm going to be joined by James, who is a 54-year-old dating coach, and he's been doing this for 20 years or more. Tonight we are going to be addressing anything and everything about what your biggest sticking points are with women. So whoever's, I can see we've got a couple of people joining us now. So welcome. Feel free to chuck those questions in the chat for me so I can help you guys straight away. But why should you believe me? Well, for anyone who's new here, I'm Tess and I'm the head female coach at Social Coach. Since 2006, we've sent our team of model female coaches on dates with our clients, first on Zoom, then in real life. And we give them brutally honest feedback from the female perspective on what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and exactly what you need to do step by step to improve with women dramatically. So we'll be sharing a bunch of proof of how this works a little bit later on. And I'll explain to you how I go on Zoom dates with 3 or 4 new guys each week and give them feedback about exactly what they need to do with women to improve for just $1. So that will be a little bit later on in the night. And while I'm waiting for some of your comments to come through, I might just start with a couple of my top points. We've got a couple of questions that are quite common things that we hear. Let's have a look here. Here we go. We've got a couple here. Welcome, everybody. For anyone who's just joining us, today is a Q&A to help you guys with your biggest sticking points with women. So chuck them in the comments as soon as you're ready. And let's just, let's have a look here. Oh, this is a good one. Something that I haven't spoken about too recently, but here you go. How do I approach women without needing a beer to calm my nerves? So we have a lot of guys, we know a lot of guys who rely on alcohol to give them that confidence they need. So approach anxiety can be a huge thing. It's pretty common. It's very common. And it's really hard to get around, when your body goes into that fight or flight response. It's really hard to overcome that unless you've, done a lot of like mindfulness training or you just have the self-awareness or tools to manage that. Now, how do I approach women without needing a beer to calm my nerves? There are a bunch of things to help with this. Obviously, doing some warm-up to actually being social is really important. So, if you're a person who works in a very sedentary job, or you don't have the kind of social backing in your profession, we're actually learning social skills, then oftentimes you're in the very analytical mind, and it becomes difficult to transition into being social. So rather than having to rely on alcohol to kind of get you there, warming up is really important. So that might look like having a really great conversation with a friend or a family member, someone you know really well, just to get you in the conversation practice, get you feeling a little bit more outgoing. But also for men, a big one is physical exercise, going on a run or going to the gym, just getting the blood flowing and the body moving to get you prepared for actually being social and trying to meet women. Now, obviously, I think the absolute best state of mind you can be to be meeting new people is the holiday state of mind. So the holiday mindset is amazing because you're naturally in a new place. So you don't know anyone, so you're open to meeting new people, having new experiences, and you're often wanting to be outgoing and do those things. And you're excited to learn about your surroundings, the culture, and excited about meeting the new people that you're meeting. So it's not always easy to tap into that if you're not on holiday, but think about when you've been traveling or when you've been in a scenario like that, where you might feel like, oh, it was amazing, people were just coming to me. I might have met a woman that things went really well with. I'm not sure what was different there, and it is just you being in that open, positive, warm mind frame, and that's that energy is infectious. So if you can tap into that, into your everyday life, on your weekends when you're going out and trying to be social, that's going to benefit you hugely. And you won't be having to rely on the alcohol as much. So that's a big one. Welcome, guys. I can see a few new guys have just logged on. So hey, David. Hey, Adam. Nice to see you guys. So today's just a Q&A. So any sticking points you guys have, anything that's come up for you recently, whatever it is, don't be shy. Put your questions in the chat so I can give you as much help as possible. James will be joining a little bit later. He's just on his way, but I'm here to serve you guys as much as I can. So yeah, just going back to how do I approach women without needing a beer to calm my nerves. I've talked about warming up. Which is super important if you haven't been speaking to many people all day, or that you have a background where the analytical mind is your default. Second of all, we talked about the holiday mindset, being open, positive, and warm, and having that energy be really infectious. That helps you to be much less reliant on the alcohol as well. Thirdly, having the skills. So this is really, really important. When you know that you have the skills to approach and converse with women and make a good first impression, then you don't have to, you've got the self-esteem, you've got the backing, you know what you're selling, and you don't have to rely on the alcohol as much. It actually becomes really fun to just be outgoing, start talking to people, take that first step, and it's familiar as well. So it's about practice and having the skills. So important. So many guys, the reason that they have the approach anxiety is because maybe they've tried it like a few times and got rejected and it didn't go so well. So they got disheartened. They're like, oh, I suck at this. And you start having all that negative self-talk. And then you just every time there's an opportunity, you stop yourself because you tell yourself it's not going to work. So how do you break the cycle? Learn the skills and feel good about what you're doing, and also take it as a fun learning experience. You have to, to some extent, detach yourself from the outcome and just have fun with it. Because when you're having fun, that sort of energy is infectious. Like I said, it's like the holiday mindset, and women are going to respond to that really well. So oftentimes that's what we see, guys, after they've had a couple of drinks, that comes a bit more naturally to them. But when you have the skills, you don't need to rely on the beers as much. So yeah, if anyone has any comments on that that you want to share with me, that'd be awesome. Any further questions to that? Any new questions? Otherwise, I'll move on to another one of our questions that comes up quite often, and I'm sure you guys can relate to as well. Here we go. what should I say on a first coffee date? That's a great question. Where do you start, right? So first date. First date is really about, yeah, I mean, it's just speculating because we're not sure exactly what kind of rapport level you've built before lining up the first date, whether you've lined up that through an approach you've done, or you've had it's been a dating app or speed dating, or your friends introduced you, whatever it might be. It kind of depends on the rapport level that you've built before your first date. But really what a first date is about getting to know the woman in an authentic way that is beyond just the surface level. So beyond just the superficial, what do you do for work? Do you have any pets? Blah, 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 all this stuff. We're trying on a first date, it should be trying to get to the more personal side of things where you're building a relationship, the basis for trust and intimacy. So what's that about? What should I say on a first date? How do you get to those things? So there are a few different techniques for this. David, Adam, nice to have you guys. You guys might have some tips for this as well. I've worked with you in the past, so feel free to chuck that in the comments as well. The more you guys give me, the more I can give you back as well. So for anyone who's just joined as well, tonight's just about a Q&A for whatever your sticking points are with women. So chuck them in the chat for me, and I'll be looking at those as the night progresses. And James will be joining us shortly too. So what should I say on a first coffee date? Well, how do you get to the more personal side of things where you're actually building that authentic connection with a woman beyond the superficial, the chat that she has with, any random person that she meets in a day. Because also we want this to be memorable for the woman. The more memorable, the more different it is to those superficial everyday interactions that you have, the more it's actually, it stands out to her, that this is something special beyond just, I kind of met a guy, I found out what he did for work, blah, blah, blah. When a woman's actually sharing stuff about her childhood or about her deeper interests or, her value systems, her thought processes, what's behind her, the way she feels about her biggest passions in life, those sorts of things. You're getting towards her deeper personality traits, building connection around those things, then this becomes memorable for her, and it becomes like, she actually feels the connection there, and so when you're able to layer sexual tension and chemistry on top of those things, that is, you're laying the foundation for potentially a really great and great relationship, that you will have control in those early stages. So how do we do that? A simple one is just by trying to elicit her biggest passions early on. Don't get stuck in boring chit chat like, how's your day been? How nice is the weather today? Blah, blah, blah. You need to get to something valuable quickly. How do you elicit one of her biggest passions straight away? Hey, James.
Hey. I won't interrupt. Sorry, guys. Internet problems just seem to follow me around the world. I'll get back to the beautiful one.
James has been traveling today. But yeah, so what do you say on your first coffee date? I've been talking about just going towards getting beyond the superficial level stuff, actually building authentic connection with a woman around what's deeper, what's beyond that. Try to elicit something that she's passionate about straight away, that she's going to want to open up around, and then Staying on topic. Don't just change topic straight away. You want to get to the depths of those things. Find out about what's behind that. What makes her heart sing. And what's behind that. Peel away those layers till you're getting to that. That really amazing. More personal side of things, where she's talking about her childhood, or the way she perceives herself, her deeper personality traits and values, and connecting around those things. So that's what you should be trying to do on the first date in terms of conversation. And as I said, layering on top of that the escalation, building sexual attraction, is also very, very important. James, do you want to add anything to that?
So the first coffee date, I've missed what you said, so I probably don't want to just
repeat.
Probably what Tess said would be really good. That's what I'll say, especially given I haven't seen it, but I've got absolute faith. If anyone's got any specific questions. Yeah, guys, Tess might have said that we're here to answer your questions. And the thing I get when I do these coaching calls is that I get guys who are 41 or 46 or something, and they're like, oh, I'm over it. Do I still have time? Will girls still want me? And obviously I can read signals. I've had sort of my fair share of success and experience. But look at me now. I'm 54, and it's just, I honestly don't know if it's getting harder. I'm pretty healthy, but I keep saying, beautiful, intelligent women with some common sense want really confident older men, just like we want beautiful younger women who are sane and, you can have a good conversation with. So you just got to get this through your head. We're here to serve you guys. So if you guys have any questions, we'd love to help you. Excuse me, I just flew overnight, and I don't deal with air conditioning very well at all. So if I'm sniffling a bit, I apologize. I thought I'd touch on something. Modern dating, guys over 40. It's hard. The women have changed. There's all this Me Too stuff. A lot of guys argue, and I don't argue back, that many modern women in the Western countries have become massively more masculine and massively less feminine, and obviously more promiscuous, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And they're complaining about this and complaining about that and complaining about this, complaining about that, complaining about the risks of maybe going on a date and being a bit clumsy or awkward or misreading the signals, and maybe getting a bit of trouble. This is a big complaint that guys have. But for myself and my students, this is great. It's like all our Christmases have come at once. Imagine if 90% of your competition just gets up and leaves. Go post Harvey Weinstein era. Go, the extremes of feminism we have here. Go woke politics. This is really good for us, for you guys. I'm a hardcore traveler, probably more than I am anything else. And I had some buddies. I can't remember. I'm not going to make up the name, but there's a place in former Yugoslavia where it was like a 13-to-1, and there's some places where there's a 16-to-1 male to female ratio. I can't remember the ages, but it was like 18 to 35 or something. And I had friends traveling through there then. It's pretty effing easy. Show up. Your parents looks like you've got a penis. Girls hit on you. Well, that's kind of the world we live in today. It really is, and I'm not exaggerating. I'll do this quickly. I went into a nutritionist shop, naturopathic shop. What you call it, like an organic place. If you want hot girls, go to organic grocers, because if they're over 22, 23, they still look pretty good. They're probably into organic health and natural health. Nearly everyone is. And lo and behold, the hottest girl I've seen in a year walks in. I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but I was talking to the girl behind the counter who wasn't too bad either. Who was pretty keen. And I was just listening to her. I just asked a couple of questions, and then I just mentioned a book I'd read, Western Price. She just crapped on about it forever. She's touching me. She's all over me. She's giving me like a free naturopath consultation, which is usually like $500 or something. She's doing all this for nothing. And yeah, it was just so easy. And then the Miss 12 out of 10 Miss Universe, she starts paying attention. So yeah, it's just, if you go to the right places and you have some skills, it's just, women are so desperate. Women are so desperate. Look at me. I'm no oil painting by any stretch. But the attention I get, I mean, some of you might argue, okay, well, James actually sees the attention. I don't. That's probably true. But yeah, if you want to have some fun, if you want to meet someone special for company, relationship, if you want to meet the mother of your children, it's never been easier. It's never been easier. It's never been easier. So hopefully that was an interesting motivational speech. Nenad, I think we might have some actual Yugoslav experience, judging by the surname. Probably Bosnia of 13-1. I think it would have been. Yeah. I wonder what Ukraine's like now. I think yeah. Anyway, Hungary's looking hot. I should shut up before I say something silly. Back to the beautiful one.
Yeah, guys. So yeah, feel free to chuck your questions in the chat while we're waiting for some to come through. Let's have a look here. Some of the other.
I've got a question for you guys. Why didn't many of you watch the best places to meet beautiful women live we did? No one's searching for that search term. Why? Are you all stupid? If you go to the right place, I'm doing myself out of clients now. You should still get skills wherever you go. But if you go to the right place, it just becomes so much easier, and no one has any interest in that. Like, I'm back in Australia, hop out the taxi, I'm back in Australia an hour. And I see a supermodel. I literally see a girl who's hotter than most of Victoria's Secret models. I'm not lying. I was just like, what the? I mean, that's the hottest girl I've seen this year. This year. Where was I? I was in a organic sort of vitamins and all these, fancy coconut oil and activated almonds. That's where they all are. So yeah, that's probably some of the best. Oh, great question from Paul Cooper. How do you get associated with Phil from Social Fitness? Worst coach. He excludes new members. Did I do a coaching call with you?
Someone mentioned. Wait, should I put that? Patrick, hi Patrick, welcome. Were you here last week? Someone had the same. Someone said something about the same person. No, we have no association with that person at all. But we heard something really similar last week, which was quite disturbing. So yeah, sorry to hear about that. Yeah, no, we don't associate at all with Phil. You might be social fitness, social coach. I can see the similarity in the name there, but no, that's not us. Definitely not us.
Let me say, I mean, this is the same throughout the world, but I don't know this guy. I've had no experience of this guy. I haven't been on his website. I don't know a thing about him. So he could be good for all I know, but just a bit of a prick. But anyway, what happens in the Australian market and probably in the US market is someone will show up. And then I know a little bit about internet marketing, not much. I know a hell of a lot about getting guys the woman they want and turning them to studs and getting them the girl they can have kids with. I'm an expert at that. But I know a little bit about internet marketing. And every so often, some new competitor shows up in the dating niche, as I say. And I look at their website and I look at their stuff and I look at their video editing and go, oh, these guys are pretty good marketers. And they're terrible. They're the worst coaches of all time. They're dreadful. They're horrible. They're terrible. They get lots of complaints because they're not dating coaches. They're marketers trying to make a buck out of your fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations. So yeah, most of what I've seen in Australia, most of what I've seen globally has not been good. And having spoken at the 21 convention a few times, I've got a very, very, very good idea of you can count them on, a hand of the people I've come across who, you'd even bother recommending. Just quickly, we're talking to a previous client about one of the best coaches, definitely one of the best coaches in the world. It's a guy I know. And we're going, so what did he teach you about women's tests? He said, oh, no, didn't really cover that. What about female psychology? No, didn't really cover that. What about reading signals? Oh, no, not really. So it's like,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Tess is number one thing, not even covered. I'll let Tess talk about this.
Yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit as well. Okay, so any of you guys who think that there's some sort of like formula that you can just do on women, that's just going to be your ticket, that is completely ridiculous. If you're doing that without being able to read signals or understand female psychology, like what James has said, then you're just like projecting something onto a woman and then hoping that it works. Like there's no being receptive, there's no understanding, like what is this working, is it not? Like every woman's going to be different, so you need to be able to understand where she's coming from and understand what's going to work for that woman. So it's a lot more complex than just just doing something at her, right? So this is what I find a lot of guys who have done like weird pickup artist stuff seem to be doing that. They just have this weird formula that they inflict on women, which is it's like going to a massage where the person's just like doing a massage on you. They're not like being receptive. I can't think of a better analogy, but you have to be receptive to the woman. You have to understand why she thinks certain things are attractive, and when there is an understanding of that, then you're able to actually navigate as things change. It's not just like, oh, I did the thing, I don't know if that worked or not. You can develop things as it's progressing, and it's a lot more authentic. So really important.
We might go the MGTOW thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know what that is. What is that, James?
MGTOW is an acronym for men going their own way. That's it. There's a whole bunch of these. I don't want to say too much. There's a whole bunch of these sort of communities and schools of thought of men. Pickup artists say you apply a simple formula designed by a guy named Eric, and you follow the 4 stages, and their legs just fly. Supermodels' legs just magically fly open and fall into your bed, even if you're a 41-year-old, fat, disgusting, smelly, hairy-backed, hairy-assed, unemployed, whatever loser who lives in his mum's basement and just posts on forums all day. Yep, if you apply my formula, supermodel's legs just fly open for you. So that's the pickup artist. It's very manipulative. It's very toxic. And they're sort of going after quite damaged women. Then you got the red pill, and then you got all these other pills. There's black pill. I don't know what that means. There's blue pill. I think the blue pill are what they think are the dumb guys who actually think women have a brain and stuff. And then there's red pill. And red pill I've talked about, but that's sort of taking some good points of evolutionary theory, but then just making so many assumptions about it and not understanding the female point of view. From what I understand, the MGTOW is men who think, give up, get out of women, have your own life, go your own way. Women are just toxic, disgusting, horrible people, and you're far better off without them. And if you don't have the skills in the modern world, there's some level of truth there. For anyone who's quite successful, who's had a toxic girl before, I mean, that's the worst state to ever be in, particularly if you're a bit stuck with her. So my take on MGTOW is it's an understandable outcome of what's happening in the world right now, particularly when you look at dating apps sort of skewing so much of the female attention towards this tiny percentage of guys. You can still meet them in person. You don't need to play into that game. But yeah, so many guys are just programmed to just date via dating apps, which I think is really, really sad. We just clearly don't work anymore. So yeah, not a big fan of MGTOW. I am lucky enough to have been madly, overwhelmingly in love. And I've had a woman who's one of the most impressive people I've ever met, and probably half a dozen others I'd have married on sight in my early 30s, on the first day in my early 30s. So yeah, women have played an enormous part of my life. So I think any man who's trying to live without women you're missing probably the most important bit of all. So yeah. What's the next question?
Yeah, someone was just commenting on agreeing with Patrick around that negative experience he's had, but we can move on from that.
Wow. No, you got to book a date with Tess. We can tell you a bit more about that later. I didn't. Did you put any Zoom times up, Tess?
Yeah. So I'll put. I've got some availability over the next two days. So I'll share that link with you guys now in the chat. So yeah, if you want to learn some of the skills we've been talking about tonight, I have some availability over the next 2 nights where you guys can have a one-on-one Zoom session with me, and we actually go through what your particular sticking points are individually. I can give you as much feedback and a plan, a step-by-step plan about what you're doing right and wrong and how to improve straight away. So that's only going to cost you $1 either tomorrow or the next day. I'll put the link in the chat now so you guys can book in with me and yeah, get you started on your journey with women. Let me just find that. Sorry, I'm also a little bit.
It's astounding that 2 people have commented about the same coach. That's quite wow.
That is, yeah.
Apparently one of the most hated just got his YouTube channel taken out. So that was interesting because he's apparently earning quite good money. Anyway, enough dating industry gossip. Tess, can you possibly quickly make up a banner and call it in a game?
Yeah, sure.
In a game question. Okay, I had a client I coached a long time ago who's a super interesting guy. He's done a lot in his life, and he's in a game. And he's doing a date with Tess, and this is quite remarkable. He was struggling quite a bit at first, even though he had slept with well over 50 girls, and he'd done really well and dated some really hot girls. But yeah, he's just getting stuck, and then I pulled some sort of magic tricks out the bag in terms of how to get clients into a good state, and he did these exercises. Then he started killing it. And at that point, on one of these calls that we're talking about, when he starts doing good, he just pulls out. They weren't having sex on the call, and he pulled out. I mean, just pulled out of the interaction, not the. Sorry, that wasn't funny. Can I get in trouble on YouTube for that? Anyway, ignore me. So he just pulls out of the interaction. I was like, what? And he said, no, I don't want to do this. He's like, oh, I've got all these in a game, all these psychological issues. I've got to work with a therapist. I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do this. I really like the guy. I was like, why? Who here thinks they've got some psychological blockages that are holding them back with women? Who thinks that's a major sticking point for them? If you guys could give me feedback for that. I know it takes a few minutes on the information superhighway to get to us in Sydney, but yeah, that would be really helpful. So I talked to him a bit about it, but I think I've said previously that the pickup artists came out with did these great marketing conferences. And there was probably one of the best internet marketers, and there was a guy who wrote a monster best-selling book who was a New York Times journalist, and they blew up. But the stuff they were teaching, in my view, was just dreadful. There might have been some good tips in there, but there was so much it was just complete nonsense and quite misogynistic and quite understanding women, and anti-understanding and wanting to have great women in your life. Just run through as many as you possibly can. So yeah, what these guys did was they went to all these marketing conferences and they're getting refunds. So rather than pay refunds, they sold the clients, oh, we'll give you inner coaching, we'll give you inner game coaching. And it's like, yeah, the originator of it did very, very well out of his inner game packages. And I'm just so against that. I'll probably make some enemies here. I mean, it's good we're getting some feedback here. I get blocked when I'm overwhelmed. If you're overwhelmed with work and you're busy and blah, 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 yeah, it's hard. Yeah, that's great. Thanks, guys. Probably back to the banner. But this is my take. The psychological side of it is very, very important. It's very, very important. If you want to be Michael Jordan or Muhammad Ali or Elon Musk or Bill Gates or just something absurd, or Donald Trump or something absurd. I'm not putting Trump in the category of all the other people I've said, but the guy's got a pretty strong mindset to have the biggest beating in the history of modern anything and just keep bouncing up. Doesn't matter how many lawsuits they throw at him. He just shows up with an angry face and gets back to trying to become president. So yeah, to be exceptional, to be astounding in a game is everything. That's why Michael's Michael and Muhammad's Muhammad and blah, 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 blah. But if you're just starting out dating and you want to do a bit better, fuck in a game. It doesn't matter. Don't worry. Learn open-ended questions. Learn to read signals. Learn a bit about female psychology, Tessa's favorite. Learn how to touch skillfully. Learn what a date plan is. Then start to practice them and refine them. And once you've got that, you might learn some new skills. If you want to get better at surfing, you know, you go to a psychologist and I'd really like to stay on the surfboard, man, but it just doesn't seem to be working for me. No, you go get a teacher and learn how to hold it and where to place your foot and how to stand up. So yeah, at elite levels or even at, you know, quite advanced levels, how you handle the stresses, the ups and downs, that's huge. But if you're sort of a beginner or intermediate, haven't had much success for a while, a certain skill, just learn the skill, practice the skill, learn a few new skills. The idea that, you know, you do like 4 approaches and you get blown out 3 times. Oh, I better get the inner game program before I do any more of these. I can see why I'm screwing up. I don't have the right mindset for this. You know, my mum and dad didn't talk enough and they didn't hug me enough. So yeah, I'm clearly not capable of doing this on my own. I need some therapy. But that's the Western mindset we have. So yeah, people may disagree with me profoundly. But yeah, and this, just to finish this story off, this guy, I think he had toxic girlfriend syndrome, which we see a lot of. And when I originally coached him, I taught him all about sex and everything I just mentioned, but we didn't teach him that much about female psychology, especially women's tests and manipulations. So what typically happens with my clients is they go out and get a girl way better than they ever had before, who's hot, and it's great for a month or 2, and they sweep her off their feet because they're so good at the first 4 or 5 steps. Then when it gets into closer to a relationship, you know, the girl's getting the best orgasms of her life from what we've taught the guy, but nothing's happening. Because he doesn't understand, he's at this extreme level in terms of approach, connect, date plan, and all that. But he hasn't got the relationship experience, all the understanding of women's manipulations in order to actually make the relationship work. So yeah, anyway, in a game, I'm not, you know, there's kids who are in Gaza now. There's people who've had horrendous sexual abuse. But anyone who's spent much time in the third world will realize that, yeah, what the average American, America's got some tough situations, but what the average Australian, most Europeans are going through, yeah, I don't know. And there's cases where it will, but I don't think it's life-threatening. Just take some action. Tess, I think you may have a different opinion to me on this.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, like if you, obviously like learning the skills and learning mechanical skills, it's sort of, it helps you build self-esteem, because when it works, it just feeds itself, right? So you're like, oh wow, this works. Like now I have the self-esteem to overcome those doubts and everything that I had with all that approach anxiety, etc. So that's definitely one approach. Now, but on the other hand, I totally understand if you are someone who has a really sensitive nervous system for whatever reason it might be, and you're like a really nervous person, and approaching women is like a big trigger for that, then learning the mechanics is one thing, but also dealing with your nervous system is also probably another thing. It does depend on the person, but I absolutely agree with you, James, that you don't always have to be, that learning the skills is sometimes all you really need, unless there's that really deep underlying problem that's something a bit more complex. But you can just tackle it from both sides in that regard as well. So learning the skills is always going to be super beneficial.
Can I push back on that, Tess?
Yeah.
In many cases, I think the fact that you've got such nervous energy, it's just an again problem. It's just a skills problem, because we get guys on boot camps, and a third of them have never approached a woman in their life. Half have never done it unless they had at least 14 crownies and a few shots. I got to tell a young lady she's beautiful every now and then. So most guys haven't done it. And I talked to a guy this week. These guys are shitting themselves like never before in their life. Like boxing ring with her golden gloves. Approach Tess in a skirt with her hot model friends. Don't hit me too hard. The guys are we had a elite riot police. He's like a SAS guy, like a Marine or something. He's like, oh, I'd much rather get shot than do that. And he was serious. Then he thought about it. The next day he said, a shot in the leg. And I said, are you serious? He goes, yeah, I'd much rather get shot in the leg. So I understand it. I probably had it worse than anyone. But when I learned the skills, start with this opener. I call it the greatest opener of all time. Then follow up with a good open-ended question and hold good eye contact and maybe touch her to get her attention a bit more. And then before you do that, go do some great warm-up exercises. But when you put those 4 things together, it's suddenly really easy. And
it's exactly exactly that. I agree, James. It's and we see that so often. It's so I'm just saying, obviously, I wasn't disagreeing with you. I was just trying to be a little bit more understanding for the guys who might hold a bit deeper. But James is completely right. This is what we see all the time. It's just you guys haven't done this stuff before, and once you start doing it and you realize, hey, it works, and I'm getting really positive responses, then it becomes fun, it becomes easy, it becomes really exciting, and you're not nervous or doubting yourself anymore. And it's I've heard some really beautiful feedback about some of the newer guys I've been working with recently who have just taken this in their stride, and they're super excited about some of the results they've had straight away. And both in dating, but also just in relationships in general, with family members. I won't go into too much detail, but just heard some really beautiful things lately about just connecting with women in their lives, which is huge breakthroughs and really beautiful.
I don't think we've had a guy who couldn't approach on the Friday of the boot camp since the first term of the Obama presidency, potentially. It's been a long time. Obviously we've been doing this a long time. We know how to deal with this, but it's not. It is scary, but it's not that scary. Once you do 1 or 2, it's like surfing a wave. To surf. You're like, oh, this is fun. I mean, there's few things better than taking over certainly in your 30s and even 40s, taking over a bar and being those guys in the room, even though there's a lot of guys taller, younger, hotter than you. So that's very interesting as well. Fire away with your questions. But yeah, modern dating, how has it changed? Dating apps took over for a while. They've really died. Instagram's pretty significant now, but it's really hard. It's really hard. If you're not tall, handsome, ripped, and put a lot of time into your Instagram, and you turn into a woman, it's like you're walking around holidays. It's like I've got friends who are like Instagram dudes, and they get some girls out of it. But everywhere they go, they're like, oh shit! I ate too many pancakes this morning. I can't really do one without my shirt off. Too many pancakes. This would have been a great selfie. And it's just like guys turn into women trying to get their Instagram right. So yeah, Vuchor is saying, what did he say? Tess is right. I've been doing a bit by myself, doing what Tess is coaching me and doing some good interaction so far. Good on you, man. Are you the finance guy? It could be.
Yeah, it is.
I've onboarded a few recently. Yeah, one of my favorites. So yeah, very, 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 very go hard on that. Do you have any more pushback about inner game, Tess?
No, I mean, obviously, yeah, like what are women attracted to? Like when it boils down to the simplest things, it's confidence and masculinity, I would say. So, yeah, inner game can help to build like self-esteem, which means that your body language is the body language you're portraying is that of someone with high self-esteem, confidence. So I can understand that point of view as well. Yeah. But yeah, if you're just if you've got the skills to come across as being confident and then that builds your confidence, same thing. But yeah, you got to believe in what you're selling as well. I think that's important.
How do I make my dating work with my crazy busy schedule? This is a challenging one. I think this is where we come in. You've got to allocate time. Can anyone guess what the biggest hack to your dating life, apart from working with Tess, is? The biggest hack is to actually have someone to work on this with who's actually skilled. That's going to transform you like nothing else. So our idea is that you pick a time. Like anything in life, if you want to get better with women, it's got to be done in a fairly concentrated fashion. You can do a little bit here and there, but yeah, and you just try to go out, just 2 times a month. You maybe try to go to some meetup group, or you start yoga or Pilates, or maybe do some art classes, or start doing what I did today. Go to like organic grocer, supplements, naturopath there places, and start to meet girls. So, and then, yeah, just allocate a date night and just try to meet women as you go about your day-to-day life. Be dramatically more happy, be dramatically more friendly and interactive with everyone. Like I knew I was coming back to do a boot camp, and I've been really head down, bum up. So I'm like, oh, there's the girl who checked me in at the airport today. I'm like, oh, you got such a beautiful island. And she smiled. I go, and you had a beautiful smile too. Now I was hopping on a plane. I didn't want to take her to the back of the check-in counter and do a doggy style or anything. I was just being a nice guy. And then the woman I was talking to today, I gave her a whole bunch of compliments. This is like, I don't know, what she's 32 to 35. Most guys would probably call her well over an 8. I wasn't interested. I'm going to do a boot camp. Whatever. It wasn't of interest to me. But I just started saying, oh my God, you know so much about this stuff. You're an expert at it. And she started, oh, Tess, have you done your TCM course? Was that at a place called TCIM or something?
No, I studied at the University of Technology in Sydney.
Oh, okay, yeah. She did the other one, and I can tell you more about that offline. You might not want to hear about what she said about yours.
It's
What?
okay. What she said about that's interesting. It's a highly
Really?
regarded. It's very
Sorry?
highly regarded. It was. I won't go. I'm not going to defend myself. It's fine. Keep going, James.
Oh no. Anyway, it was interesting. Anyway, back to this. So yeah, and I just, I'm going to do a boot camp soon. I better get back in form. So I'm just talking to everyone. Just, here's someone I can have an interaction with. I mean, yeah. The other thing is, if you're not trying to, if you CK a girl, give her a compliment. I basically got a free naturopath consultation, trying to warm up for the boot camp. She starts looking at my tongue and looking at my eyes and taking my pulse for about 10 minutes. It might have been all the great questions I was asking. So yeah, just interact with people and then be friendly with them, be friendly with the Uber driver, be friendly with that. Just ask the Uber driver, so where are you from? And it's going to be like Turkey or India or Bolivia or something. There's a whole story there. So you don't just throw your phone away. Throw your phone away. Throw it away. Throw it away. Get an old Nokia, whatever, 3410 or whatever the hell the number is, and just don't look at your phone. Just meet people. I mean, even take your watch away and just go, hey, what's the time or something? Just get started. And if you're somewhat confident, just walk around going, hey, how you doing? How's your day going today? Just say that to people, not in the middle of a very, very busy street, but just when you're walking past. I sometimes just go up to people and go, happy Friday. And they just look at me like I'm on mushrooms. And yeah, but anyway, and then some people respond and just be happy. Model Steve Irwin, the late, great Steve Irwin, probably one of the best makers of friends that the world's ever seen. To quote a book that made a huge difference in my life and many people's lives, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Who is the greatest maker of friends the world has ever seen? A Labrador, or a golden retriever at a barbecue. It's like, it's just sitting there with all its people and its family. And they have a barbecue and there's like 500 people coming, or even just 50. Friends, all these people to meet, to pat me, to maybe feed me. This is the best day ever. And he's just so happy all the time. That was one of the biggest single things that helped me when I got better with women. I was like the Labrador. My tail was just going fucking crazy the whole time. Just meeting new people. Not supermodels, not Playboy cover mates, just people. If that person had a vagina, you get some extra marks, but just meet people. You get my boot camp. You'll hear this over and over again on a Friday. 2 legs, no balls, approach. Because we're not trying to get you a supermodel. We're not trying to get you the love of your life on the first date. We're trying to get you to practice a skill set over and over. And what is it? Boxing, or tennis. Just approach. Improve your opening questions, improve your touch, improve your energy, improve your reading signals. Approach. It doesn't matter if she's got a moustache or if she weighs more than you. Just approach. If you're a scaredy cat, just approach a dude. Just approach a guy. Just pretend he doesn't have a dick, but just use the questions and the open-ended questions, the touch and that sort of thing. Don't touch him on the small of the back and rub your beard against the side of his face. You might get a slightly broken nose if you do that. But yeah, just go out and do it. So yeah, if you are a very busy guy, just take advantage of the time you've got to meet as many people as possible and be as social as possible. So if you are a very, very busy guy, you might allocate a social day or a social afternoon where you go do things where you can meet people. And it's amazing once you've got a core base of skills, how quickly you can fly with this.
Yeah, and I think on top of that as well, once you have the skills, you're actually able to take opportunities as they arise. It might be on your way to work or sharing a lift with someone, like wherever you are. So that's just, or going to the supermarket. It's not, you're not even allocating social days or social time. You're just taking those opportunities where they arise. Now, obviously, that's definitely more advanced skill level, but when you have those skills, approaching in those more non-implied social settings also becomes really easy and fun. So yeah.
Yeah, just to give you some practical things. You're paying for your groceries. Don't go do the complicated thing that takes me about 25 minutes to work out, and I break the machine and yeah, get sent the naughty boy corner to get a human to do it. Just go talk to the checkout girl if it's not that busy, and just go, Ashwarya, where's that name from? Well, that's a pretty name. So yeah, and if a girl's got a pretty name, go, that's a pretty name. That's what I said to the naturopath I was talking to today. And that 12 out of 10 gave me a lot more. This is how I was dressed. Anyway, it's shocking. It's just I have the same clothes I was wearing yesterday. I didn't even brush my teeth. So yeah, you're at a department store doing something. Just talk to the people there. Just talk to the person beside you on the lift. Hey, how's your day going? Just talk to people as you go about your day-to-day life. Some people won't like it, but look at them. If they're sort of like just going somewhere, don't disturb them. Disturb someone who's just a lot more relaxed and casual. Questions, boys. How can we serve you?
Yeah, so if you guys have anything related to the topics tonight, or anything at all really that's new for you, I've actually noticed a few. We've got some regulars here. Thank you guys. Always great to see you, and some new people as well who I haven't seen before. So for you guys, sorry?
I haven't checked in on that. That's a bit silly of me.
Yeah, no, I definitely some names I don't recognize. So you guys, anything for you, whatever it might be, we're here to help you with your biggest sticking points. So definitely, just don't be shy. Put them in the comments, and we'll help you as much as we can. Someone's actually asking if we're looking for an intern.
Yeah, for the boot camp. If you've applied already, if you want to share your real name, that would be awesome. So
yeah, I don't know if you want to put that on screen or not, but yeah, it's in the comments. Yeah, feel free to email info@socialcoach.com if you're interested in that. Also, that's you, Patrick. And if any of you guys can't find any suitable times that you'd like to book in for a $1 coaching call with me as well, you can also email info@socialcoach.com, and we can try to find a time that will be suitable. We do have an event coming up next week, so we're pretty chock-a-block at the moment, but yeah, in the weeks following, we should have some time that we can allocate for you guys. So if you want the deal for $1, just you can email us or and just say that you know about the $1 deal. Otherwise, just book in a session with me over the next few days. The link is in the chat, like I said.
Okay, great. Tess, do you want to start on nowhere? I just need to get water quickly.
Nowhere to meet women who will be attracted to you. No worries at all. James, I'll let you get your water.
Thanks.
Cool. Yes. This is really important, guys. We did touch on this a little bit before, but if you're going into a bar, let's say, an implied social setting, like where single women might hang out, where they want men to approach them. Great, awesome. That's awesome that they've got, it's an implied social setting, especially if you're able to read women's signals, you'll know which women are more open to being approached or actually inviting you to approach, which is great. But on one hand, awesome. Potentially meeting single women looking who are looking to be approached. But on the other hand, you're also taking a little bit of a stab in the dark around what your whether or not you have similar interests or anything that you can connect around. Yeah, other than, I don't know, you both like to go to a bar on a Friday or Saturday night or wherever it might be. So sometimes it might be, if there's like live music or a gig or a performance or something, then at least you have that to work with that might lead to some similar interests. But what kind of women are you going to be? Are you looking for? Is it the kind of woman who goes to a bar on a Saturday night? Maybe it's not. So you want to be thinking about, who is the woman that I want in my life? What kind of women am I looking for? What values do they have? What interests do they have? What do I want to actually have a connection around? And where am I going to meet these women? So James just talked about meeting some high quality women in a organic food store that he went to today. So obviously that's health is a big factor in James's life. He's really into natural health and eating organic food. To meet a woman in that kind of environment kind of makes sense for him. And that's obviously, worked well for him. Similarly, James has spoken about meeting women in cafe bookstores or bookstores. James is really into philosophy and literature. When, the greatest women in his life have all been women who he can really connect with around that aspect of his life. That's so, connecting on that more intellectual level and around, literature. So that's, so for James, that's the setting for him. So it is really individual. You guys have to think about what it is for you. If you're really into health and fitness, it might be, a fitness group or yoga studio or yoga retreat or something like that. It is quite individual, but think about those things. If it is just a woman, if you're just looking for any woman, then bar can be great. But also, taking up the opportunities as they arise in your day-to-day life, on the street, at the supermarket, whatever it is, then that's not a bad place to start. James? Oh, sorry, James. Sorry, I muted you. There you are. You're back.
That can be a wise idea at times. Bars are great but if you want to play American football or Australian football or rugby, and probably do most fighting sports, you're going to spend some time bench pressing and press behind your neck and pull-ups and squats because you need the conditioning. Now, you're probably not going to enjoy. Who enjoys that? I mean, it's monotonous. It's just so boring. So boring. That's why they need caffeine highs just to do the boring task. But if you're going to go out and play American football or Australian football, that time you spent in the gym is like, wow, it's so important. I remember one time I was playing basketball and the guy's about 6'6" and maybe 105 kilo. What's that? 235 or something. Comes and just absolutely destroys me and he knocks me flying. He got knocked pretty badly too. But I got up much quicker than him. Can anyone tell me why? Because he was on the juice. He was taking the juice, that man. So, he looked all big and scary, but he wasn't quite as big and scary as he looked because when he ran into someone who'd done quite a lot of weights at that time. So, no one really wants to go to the gym unless it's to pick up girls. But it's very good if you love playing football or love playing basketball. So it's like some people like going to bar. You get a lot of easy sex there with just some level of skill. But it's great because when I'm out to bars a little bit, my skill at meeting girls during the day went insane because I did so many more approaches. My energy went up. It was really, really, really valuable. So, but yeah, you just got to sit down and think, where are the women I want? Tess covered one of the most important things. If you're just meeting women generically on dating apps, in bars, through friends and family, and you're not niching down according to interests, the game's 10 or 15 times harder. If you're a guy and you don't really have any interest that a woman would be interested in as well, you might want to consider sucking a dick every now and then, because this whole woman thing is probably not going to be that good. You'll get the sex, you'll get the companionship, but there won't be much of a connection. But so, yeah. So I hope that's really useful. Just, yeah, it's one that I mean, what's the highest, simple high ROI thing for most Americans, Australians, just to quickly have your wardrobe reviewed. Next thing is to come up with a date plan and get the basically conversational openers. Probably just very basic touching. But yeah, just going to the right places can change everything. Let me see. What's this? Nana, is that pronounced correctly?
I'd like to hopefully go out on a limb here without potentially looking creepy. But instead of a one-on-one Zoom session with you, Tess, would a friendly dinner date instead be okay? No, but no, good on you for asking. You know, it's always a no until you ask, and then there's a potential yes there. So yeah, good on you for asking. Unfortunately, no, like, you know, to do a one-on-one in-person session would be a lot more expensive than just a $1 session. So that's why we're, you know, obviously I'm able to work from the convenience of my home or wherever I am when I'm working with you guys on Zoom. And so yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have the capacity to do that at the moment. Thanks for asking, Nanette. I highly recommend the Zoom session though. You will get a lot of value out of that for $1.
We could create a special package for you, Nanad. It would be $50,000 plus first class airfare plus someone from Prime Security, just in case you're a bit on the awkward side. And yeah, Tess, I think you can manage him 3 days after the boot camp. That's US dollars, by the way, and we do take Amex. So that's my attempt at humor. But if you want to stump up 50 grand for a date with Tess, you might have a shot. But you might not in 2 years if this YouTube channel grows like our Australian seminar business grew. Growed. Someone needs some sleep. So yeah, but good on you for asking. My Russian. I can't get to Russian. Eastern European man not scared of asking beautiful girls out.
Well done. So Luke is asking, there seem to be plenty of single women living in my apartment complex that I see passing like in the lobby. So how can I curate opportunities to meet them? We have a concierge. Can I use them? How would you plan on using the concierge, I wonder? Obviously, you know, if you're passing them in the lobby, especially multiple times, and you're often seeing the same people, say hello. Hey, you know, we're neighbors. You know, that's a great opportunity to say hello. And you might not always have a long expanse of time to interact with them as you're going. But if you're doing that regularly and saying hi to all your neighbors, then people start to get to know you, right? And that's basically like social proofing around where you live. So yeah, then once you've said hello a few times, you're building that rapport, and potentially there would be an opportunity to say, hey, let's go for a coffee or something like that. So I wonder, what do you mean about can I use the concierge? What did you actually have in mind there? And James, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, that's quite. Luke, have you done the boot camp before? You asked some good questions. Just wondering, because we coach a lot of finance guys and executives and stuff. Yeah, I personally would use the concierge a bit. I'd make sure I make very good friends with them, and I'd find out about their family, their hobbies, and interests. So I might happen to be talking to them when the pretty girls would be like most likely to walk by. That's something that's got me some of the easiest sex you can ever imagine. Just who's the person I need to meet to get that girl. Where I've met models in bars, a good percentage of the time, it's been because I met someone around them and I got introduced, and that was a lot more low key than the game in one hand, stupid hat in the other hand, and go in with a indirect opener or something. Just satirizing pickup artists. Yeah, it's more, again, it's all, this game's so much social intelligence. You've got to get good at the initial approach. You've got to build the muscle for that. But once you get to, you don't get the hot girls generally by just walking up and harassing them in the street, if ever. If you're in a country where you're an American and the girls in that country are clearly a lot less rich than you, then yeah, you probably can. But yeah, it's not necessarily going to get you the women you want in Sydney, New York, London, if you're a Sydney, New York, London man. So yeah, that's really good. How big's the building? Like how many apartments would there be? If you let me know, what suburb, if you're comfortable with that, I could probably give you some extra tips.
Luke was saying, just following on to that, the concierge knows everything about everybody. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're trying to get some some inside intel on, oh yeah, I see her going out to holding a yoga mat every 2 days to go to yoga or whatever. So I don't know if, yeah, inside intel is great, obviously, but at the same time, when you're interacting with a woman, if you kind of give away that you know these things about her before you've actually asked her questions and found out authentically, that could come across as super creepy. So so yeah, just be careful. Like obviously it's going to work to your advantage if you know a few little things about a person, but again, just use an in-person interaction to find out about those things. That's going to be yeah, the most authentic interaction. Luke says 300 apartments, central Melbourne, lots of professionals.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a good place you're at. Yeah, I mean, making friends with the concierge is a great tip. But in the apartment, is there anything else apart from the lobby? What other things are in the apartment? I stayed in an apartment in Malaysia recently, and they had like an exercise area and a place where you could lie in a lounger and look at a building and breathe the 108-degree AQI air. Sounds magnificent to me. You forget your cigarettes. Well, I don't really need one. I sort of got one here. But yeah, I mean, there was a pretty hot girl standing out there. So yeah, what else is in the building apart from just a concierge? If I was making an apartment building for professionals, I'd think it through and let's give people a chance to meet each other, because that's what really works. Is there any other things in that in that apartment that you can use? Pool, gym, massage room, games room, spa. I mean, sauna's a good one. It tends to be more male dominated, but most men in saunas have no skill. It's got lots of muscles. The greater the muscles, the less the skill in my broad experience. Because some guys think you can learn skills, other guys think you can just bench press 280 and all the chicks will come after you. Pool, gym. I mean, the gym's a good one. They're all good. Yeah, someone's added some great a comment there. If you own in that building, 300's a fair number. If there's lots of renters, you might want to shit. I call it shit in your own nest, especially where you eat. Yeah, if you're an owner there, Luke, Let me read that. There seems to be plenty of single women living in my apartment complex that I see in passing, like in the lobby. How can I create opportunities to meet them? And we have a concierge. I can use them. And just do the big city thing and just smile at people and go hi. They might take 2 or 3 times to respond. Just be Steve Irwin. Just be Steve Irwin. Just be fucking Steve. How you going? How you going today? You having a good day? You see any crocodiles? I really love to see a crocodile today. There's not many in central Melbourne amongst all you yuppies, but I'm really missing them. Just be Steve. Just be happy all the time. Just be excited about saving the wildlife. If you can just have that sort of energy, it's just like, I went from some finance guy who, just go. Luke's saying, I don't own in that place. I have a house elsewhere. I can leave if I need to. Just plow through them. Why not? It's like a away from home yoga studio in a good suburb with lots of hot girls. Just go for it, man. Just be bold. Not too bold that you end up on the front page of the Age, but just smile and say hi to everyone. How's your day going? Happy Friday. But don't just do it to the girls who you'd like to sort of bend over the back of your Jaguar. Just be friendly to everyone.
Yeah, I think, obviously, if you're happy to leave at a moment's notice, then that's fine. You can plow through them. But I think obviously you need to, respect that, you know where they live or they know where you live. There are probably want to be respectful of that, and just be aware. You don't want to be you'll probably gain some sort of reputation if you're just sleeping with all the women, the 300 people in your apartment block. But then again, a lot of neighbors just don't speak to each other, so maybe none of them would ever find out. So yeah.
No, I think women know. But if you sleep with a lot of women and you do a poor job, word spreads. If you sleep with a lot of women and you do a great job, word spreads like wildfire, with nitroglycerin poured all over it. Those girls talk. So I've got my first handful of threesomes. If one screams loud enough, and he did this to me last time, and then suddenly their friends are walking around topless in front of you the whole time. So yeah, that can work pretty well.
There you go, Luke.
The only thing is, if you start breaking hearts in the modern era, but you're just going to be prepared to leave. I've left yoga studios because I'm sitting whatever going. There's one girl going. There's another girl going. There's another girl going. As in, right now, 4 weeks ago, 3 months ago, they've got different faces. That was meant to be funny. Right now is going. Maybe there's a delayed reaction.
I get it, James. Sorry? I get it. Yeah.
You thought me explaining it was funny though, so I'll take any laugh I can get from Tess. You're a hard audience, which is
there is a delay with the comments. If you guys think things are funny, say ha in the chat. James get some validation there, because there's definitely a delay between when it actually our questions or our delivery and you guys receive that. So sometimes we're like, crickets. But yeah.
Interestingly, this leads me to a very important point about the level of confidence in a man. I think I'm funny. Many people do not agree with that point of view whatsoever. Some people do quite significantly. I happen to think the people who don't find me funny are a bit limited intellectually. Because that's the definition of confidence. I can rationalize someone who doesn't find me funny by a few brain cells missing. So yeah, if you want to be as confident in yourself as that, try to have that sort of an attitude. I mean, I stand up in front of large numbers of people who've paid a lot of money and just tell jokes that I think are funny. Sometimes only one person laughs, but they laugh a lot. That's my audience there. So yeah, it's probably just a benchmark of self-confidence, I think. But yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing of all. That's the thing I keep selling. Be confident, be confident, be confident, be confident, be confident. And then touch iconic body language, female psychology. So over 40, what did you want to say something, Tess?
No, we've got some more questions that
Great.
Magnus was asking.
Oh, great.
Any tips on meeting women in public parks, eating lunch near the city, etc.? So, yeah, definitely. Meeting women in parks, get a dog. That's the first tip I have. No, yeah, obviously, any dog owners will know that they attract women like nothing else. So, yeah, if you have a dog, that's going to work to your advantage. But yeah, if you don't have a dog, then yeah, I guess approach a woman with a dog, because she's obviously, I think people with dogs or pets are generally quite open to talking about their pets. So if you use that as a topic of conversation, that a woman will generally be quite open. But then again, just thinking about the type of woman that's going to be receptive. So if she's like going for a run, don't approach her. She probably doesn't want to stop running. But if there's a woman who's just also sitting down having a lunch, that's a much better choice. And then yeah, if you're both eating lunch, potentially that's a great topic of conversation to start with. I think that anytime you're using something that's relatable to begin with, is a little in to get her to be open straight away, not necessarily having a barrier up. So yeah, just think about those sorts of things as well. What could work well? Like I said, the pets is a huge one, but yeah, whether you're commenting on the food that you're eating, something like that, that might be something to use as well. James, do you have something to add to that?
Yeah, there's a whole science around parks. If it's like Bondi Beach in summer, the grass there, that's really easy because it's very densely concentrated. And you can sit and follow the human, we like to be equally spaced if we're strangers rule. You can sit like, 2 arm lengths away or 1 arm length away some days, and you can go, hey, what's that you're reading? Or, oh, that looks nice. Where'd you get that from? No problem. But if you're in some suburban park where there's 2 young kids playing footy and then there's someone else walking a dog, then there's 3 soccer pitches or football pitches empty, then it's a bit harder to just sort of walk up and go, hey, that looks, sit down beside him and go, hey, that looks good. What are you eating? Well, there's no one else within 100 meters either way. It might be like, help, rapist! Unless you do it really, really well. The approach, not the rape, by the way, is it? I don't know if anyone's ever.
Yeah, Magnus is a pretty attractive guy, actually. I don't think. I think that you probably would have. You've got a few things working in your favor there, Magnus. So use those things to your advantage as well.
I mean, again, you can just take in your inner Steve. Oh, that looks good. What you eating? Where'd you get that from? And just lots and lots of happy, friendly energy. Yeah,
exactly.
that gets over. having the right energy, and that's something we spend a lot of time on boot camps trying to help you with, that gets over so many of your problems. Just get the energy right, get the initial energy right.
Yeah.
This might be, in day game, this might be really, really useful to you. Meeting women essentially takes two things. It takes skill, which is very, very important. You need a good deal of skill to do it well and to do it with attractive women. But we can make a guy incredibly skillful, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm James. What's your name? Hey, how you doing? I'm James. Tess?
Hi. I'm Tess.
Nice to meet you, Tess. So tell me, what's the most interesting thing you've got going on this weekend?
I don't know. Why do you want to know?
See, because I've got no energy. She doesn't want to talk to me, even though I'm doing a very, very good job of the text of it. So, but then if you walk up like, "Happy Friday! What's going on for you today?"
Hi. Yeah, I don't know. I just meeting some friends.
Cool. Tell me about these friends you're gonna meet.
Just my girlfriends. Yeah.
Who's your favorite girlfriend and why? What makes it so special?
Yeah, probably. I don't like to pick favorites, but yeah, my friend's coming from interstate. She's in town for the weekend, so yeah, she's my surfing girlfriend. We love to surf together.
You a surfer? That's pretty cool for a hot chick like you. Tell me about the biggest, baddest wave you ever caught in your life.
Oh, I mean, I'm not a huge wave surfer, but I've surfed some sizey waves like in Indonesia. But yeah, to be honest, I'm not chasing the big ones anymore. Yeah, I just do it for fun.
You get the point. Lots and lots of energy, stupid accent, a couple of dumb questions. The girl wants to buy in. So yeah, you just energy. We spend a huge chunk of the Friday of the boot camp trying to get your energy right for your first night out, because it makes things so ridiculously easy. What else in parks? Ben, do you have a park in mind? It so much depends on the concentration. So if it's a suburban park, not so good. Many parks in New York City, pretty easy. That's a big lesson there.
Yeah, so obviously I think the more concentrated it is, like if you're at Union Square in New York City where it's, there are buskers and people everywhere and barely a bench to sit on, then that almost becomes an implied social setting because of that concentration of people. So yeah, obviously a lot easier in your suburban park where it's more sparse and it's much less of an implied social setting, then like I said, you've got to use your environment for whatever approach you take to be like somewhat relatable to the woman. By doing that, you're using whatever commonality you have as your in for her to not have a barrier up when you say hello, basically.
Just a question, guys. What are the problems? There's probably some advantages. What are difficulties you face dating in your 40s versus maybe dating in your 30s or 20s? If anyone could comment on that, that'd be really interesting for us to help you.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll speak for me. The biggest issue I've had in my 40s is my standards just flew off the roof. What I wanted and what I'd actually give my time to went up a very, very long way. The problem with dating, the problem with anything is if you just wait for the one, when you find the one, your skills at much, much lower level than if you're dating multiple women. Because I can tell you the top 6 women of my life, it's a metric I go back to all the time. I was pretty or extremely promiscuous every single time I met them. When I met, the greatest woman of my life, the love of my life, I was banging like a dunny door, as we say in Australia, through South and Central America, with quite a few girls on the go. And then when I met a French Russian who was very, very special to me, I was running through Swedish girls and a few other Germans like nobody's business. So I had this incredible confidence to nail women who, at the time, most people would have said were well out of my league. So what are the problems you guys are facing in your 40s? Like, what are new things you're experiencing now, apart from grey hair and descending testicles and that sort of thing?
So yeah, Patrick's got something here. Women find me handsome and I've been told I'm intimidating. Women will avoid me. It's interesting.
I need to see how handsome. That is a huge issue. That is a huge issue. The problem with with really hot men is women watch media and they watch TV and they see these really hot actors hired to play hunky guys on soap operas and in movies for women. And invariably this guy's asked to play a heartbreaker, a cheater, a guy with poor morals, or just a heartbreaker. So women automatically think this guy is a heartbreaker and they're going to get hurt. So beyond a certain age, women shy away from that because, I'll give you a good story. I was in Sweden and I was there with some pretty attractive Aussie girls. One was a doctor, one was something else. I can't remember exactly. Well above average, not quite models, but any guy would want to bang them. But yeah, I wasn't in Sweden to bang some girl from Melbourne. I can tell you that. So rather than try to get my way with them, I just made friends with them. But I used them as clickbait to have sex with quite a few young Swedish ladies. So, and one of the ways I expedited having sex with quite a few Swedish ladies was myself and a guy I was traveling with. We made friends with the most beautiful man in all of Sweden, who wasn't a model, but should have been. He was an engineer. And so I introduced, I can remember still her name, I introduced Lucy to the most beautiful man in all of Sweden. And Lucy goes, I'm an Aussie girl on holiday and I'm going after this hot Swedish guy with everything I got. And she did. And she got him. And yeah, anyway, he really liked her. She was a doctor. She was well traveled. She ticked a lot of boxes. She's feminine. She had a great body. And anyway, I had 2 Swedish girls on the go or something. And I turned around and looked back. I'm hanging out with these people. And it's like, what happened there? I set you up with him. What's going on? And I talked to him, and this is where I started learning to be more of a dating coach. It's like, what happened with you and Lucy? And he's like, I'm not sure. And I pushed a bit further because that's the person I am. He goes, I think I must have done something to screw it up. And, I don't know. She just, maybe it's an Australian Swedish thing. I don't know. And he was actually quite hurt because he really, really liked her. And then I go to Lucy and I go, what happened with you and him? And she goes, he's too hot for me. I'm happy to bang him a few times. I don't think she used the word bang, but I'm happy to bang him a few times, but I can't date him. I said, why? She goes, because he's too hot for me. Her voice wasn't that atrocious. But you get the point. It's hard work. This isn't about me. If anyone cuts this up one day if I'm famous. It's hard being a good-looking guy because you've got all this stuff that women assume about you that's often not true. So yeah, so everyone who's got a big nose and a weird chin and grey hair and whatever, not enough muscles or bad posture, you're not this handsome guy, to some extent think yourself lucky, because they have a really hard time with women. Yeah, they probably get to easily sleep with a bunch of 7s and 8s, but it's not a good experience.
Yeah, so yeah, what we find is that either there are women that throw themselves at them, but then you guys don't, when you don't have like a deeper understanding of women's psychology and tests, etc., then you're like, I don't know, often we find these guys get into toxic relationships where they don't know how to handle these women because they have these expectations or whatever that they're not meeting. But yeah, Patrick is saying women think I'm an F-boy. Yeah, exactly. So, or they just, these deeper insecurities come out from the woman because women are throwing themselves at you or whatever it is, or they just assume you're an F-boy. So they start testing you, acting out and testing you in terms of your commitment to them. Okay, so that's a really common women's test. Like, how committed are you to me? So Patrick saying, why did I have to be born so sexy? It's a curse. It's a curse, Patrick. So yeah, yeah, exactly. It's it can be a curse. It can be a curse because all of these things come up with the kind of women that you find yourself with. So yeah, Patrick, yeah, an understanding of female psychology can help a lot with that, and how to understand where different tests are coming from as well. So yeah, but if women are avoiding you to begin with, right from the start, then yeah, I mean, you've got, why do they avoid you even when you take the first step, in approaching, etc.? Like, they just avoid you completely even when you do approach them? Or do you mean they just yeah, I mean, how are they actually avoiding you? Because often we find that women, oh yeah, if you're intimidating, I suppose. The thing is, women can find intimidating actually quite sexy. So maybe they're just avoiding you because they're quite because they're attracted.
It's weird.
Mhm.
Like really hot guys who have to work much harder for sex with the girls they want. Like, okay, it's sort of a mathematical thing. If you're a male 9.5 and you want a female 9.5, 10, it's going to be really hard because they're assessing you as a relationship person. But if you want a female sort of 8 or 7.5, they're like, "Ooh, I'm going up in the world. This is great. I'm going to blow this guy in the bathroom, and do a line of coke off his dick." I know, I'm just being stupid. So yeah, it's great to be good looking, but it makes it much harder to get you the women you want. I tend to always live quite modestly relative to what I earn. It's just the way I don't know, it's just something I came across. So even when I was doing very, very well in finance, I still just drove a Camry. But yeah, I was traveling and I was very, very, very promiscuous, oftentimes with girls I did not really deserve to be with. But then I decided to share with a wealthy client. And we got this beautiful, beautiful place in Bondi Beach. And I sucked. I just sucked. I couldn't get the girls. They just wouldn't sleep with me. So all these games and problems and tests and nervousness and just, I sort of try to kiss her on my couch and she runs away and leaves. Never had this before. But it was like, this wasn't this super exciting, much older, I should say super interesting, much older sort of traveler, loser, homeless dude I was before. Not homeless, but you know what I mean. just moving around. Now as this guy with like one of the best apartments in Sydney, I was like, oh, okay, he's really confident and he could be Mr. Right. So all these problems came. That wasn't good looking, but that was high status. This was a very high status apartment. So yeah, it's like, I mean, beautiful women. Oh my God, it's like horrendous for them. It's so bad. It's like, yeah, most guys are terrified of them. Really decent, good guys who haven't experienced with women at their level, they're going to date with them and they're just not attracted because the guy, if she was less attractive, he'd just sleep with her. But because she's so attractive, he's like, and then there's this tiny group of guys who pursue them relentlessly, which I might have been one of. And they get very, very, very good at it. And then all the buttons to push. Then they end up with these, and then they get heartbroken, and they let the ones they should have really been with go. So it's incredibly hard for beautiful women to actually find happiness. You'd be far better off being a little bit less attractive.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a similar thing with the men as well.
Oh, it's the same for sexes.
Yeah. So we've got a bunch of questions coming in. Chris Raja says, I have a general hesitancy. I'm unable to assess the age of a girl just by looks, just to get a fair idea. Many times I think, what if she's too young for me? And don't approach. Yeah,
Mate, just let's ask the questions. So where are you seeing them and why aren't you approaching them? What's your age and how old do you estimate the girls to be?
Yeah, if you're unable to assess based on looks, why would you make an assumption that they're too young? You know, if you just speak to them and I don't know whatever you think is too young, if you speak to them and find out how old they are, then you can assess if that's too young. So yeah, never make assumptions about women based on how they look. I think that women hate having made assumptions about them before you've actually spoken to them. We hate that. We absolutely hate that. Which is why you should never go up to a woman and say, "This is what I think about you," before you know anything about her. It's the worst approach you could ever do. So obviously, if you've got approach anxiety, that's something you need to deal with. But when you have the skills and you know how to approach a woman respectfully and confidently and for it to go well, then you shouldn't be hesitating. It should feel fun and exciting and natural. Yeah.
I've approached and gone too young a few times. Like, no, that's not happening. But great body from a distance, and you can just sort of do what I did one time. It's like she wasn't particularly, whatever, too young. You just go, oh, sorry, at my old age, our eyes aren't so good anymore. Didn't mean to bother you. You could just make light fun of it and then just sort of evacuate. Yeah, it's just like if you're going to go try to get good at boxing, you're going to get punched. If you're going to try, I shouldn't say this is a marketing exercise, but it's true. If you're going to actually get dramatically better with women, you're going to miss some. You're going to miss a few. But when you miss, you learn. Every time I get rejected, I tend to learn a lesson about what I did wrong.
Yeah, so obviously,
look all the times I've been rejected and all the lessons I've learned, which are incredibly valuable to you guys.
Exactly. So if you don't approach, there's no chance of it working. It's going to be zero chance, right? If you do, there's a chance. I don't know what the percentage of that, depending on your skill level, but it means there's a chance. And then, if you find out some information about her that means actually, no, I don't want to pursue that, you just exit. It's not hard. You just say, cool, yeah, it was nice to meet you. Have a great night. See you. Whatever. So that's no issue. Okay.
Have we done Ralph?
Ralph, yeah. Hey,
Just
Tess and James.
1 second on Patrick. You can dress your looks down. Just find out colors that aren't flattering. Don't go too far. Or you could get if you've got like nice big thick hair, you get like a crew cut or something. So there's stuff you can do. When I coach very, very beautiful men, rather than make them look better, I'll often make them look worse. Because like the male models I've coached, it's like every girl's going to give them a good response. Because I'm talking to the hottest guy at the bar. I feel like a princess now. So you got to try to make them look a bit less beautiful. Sorry to cut you off, Tess. My biggest personal issue is not knowing how to cold approach women. Well, book a date with this lovely lady and she'll sort you out in 2 or 3 sessions. It'd be easy. You've got to have the skills. You've got to have the conversation structure, the touch, the eye contact, the body language, the energy. You've got to be able to tell who's interested in you. You've got to be able to tell who's definitely not. And you've got to be able to do it in the appropriate places. Stuff like you're in a very crowded park, everyone's arm's length apart or a bit more. What's that you're eating? It looks great. No problem. You're in a suburban park and, there's no one for 50 meters, but she looks like she's got a great set of tits. In your old man eyes, you're like, oh, hello, young lady, what's that you're eating? That looked good from 50 meters away. I just wanted to find out. Yeah, it's a huge difference. So you got to know all this sort of stuff. But yeah, what's your specific sticking point? You're just too scared? What is it? From memory, you were quite a good-looking guy too. Is that right, Ralph?
Yeah, not knowing how to cold approach women. Yeah, if you've never done it or you don't understand what's going to work. You don't know what to do, and obviously you're going to be holding yourself back. If you want to know how to cold approach women, book in a session with me and I can help you. Again, guys, I've pinned the link in the chat. I'll just share it with you guys again. So I can help you for just $1. That's the best deal you're ever going to get for working one-on-one with me. And yeah, I can go through exactly what your biggest issues are. So basically what we do is I would go through like a role play situation where you would try to approach me and I can see exactly what you're doing wrong. And you might be doing some things right as well, but I'll lay that all out for you and then give you a plan for how to improve straight away. So if you want to know what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, book in with me and I can help you with that.
And our new pricing is $1 over Zoom and 50,000 US plus first class airfares plus security in person anywhere in Australia. For the US, that will be $100,000. And this young lady requires her own trans-Pacific jet too.
That would be nice. Yeah, if anyone wants to do that, I'm super open to that as well. Yeah.
Oh, look what we've got. L. Ellison, occupation, CEO, Oracle Software. Oh, you're doing well, Tess.
Great.
Warren Buffett, CEO, Berkshire Hathaway. He's nearly 97. Is that okay, Tess? I don't think he'll get too handsy on you.
No, that's okay. We've got the security there, and for that price, I'm happy to do that. So yeah.
In all seriousness, I gave up a career in finance where I'd be so ridiculously minted. I traveled the world. I tried to make friends with these guys who had some idea. Most of the paths were the wrong way. I did a couple of dating courses myself. They were awful. They were just awful. The most famous in the world was looking at all the pictures of girls I'd slept with, and I thought I was hopeless. And oh my God, she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Where'd you meet her? Where'd you meet her? What did you use to approach her? I was like, you're the guru? And it was so much pain and error. And Tess just hands it all to you in 45 minutes, like years and years of my life, she gives you in 45 minutes. And then, yeah, one of my other sayings is, if you want to get really good with, this is a great idea. If you want to get really, really good with beautiful women, the biggest hack I know of is to make friends with a really beautiful woman. So one of the things that I sort of fluked upon when I was in finance was some of my friends had attractive girls. And because I was good friends with their boyfriend, we sort of became friends too. And I learned quite a lot from that. So yeah, just sort of making friends with Tess. I mean, she probably calls some of her clients friends. I certainly call many of my clients friends. It can go a long, 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 long way. What has been born so sexy? Biggest concerns knowing not to cold approach. I talked a good bit about this earlier on tonight, Ralph. Channel Steve Irwin. Be friendly with everyone and practice in places where it's okay just to talk to people. It's like whatever, the checkout chick, the receptionist at the gym, the girl where you buy your groceries. It's whenever you go shopping, wherever you come across some sort of service worker, just talk to them. Just talk to them. The waitress, that's a funny name. Where's you from? That's a funny accent. Where are you from? Just keep talking to people. Keep talking to people. Obviously, if you get step-by-step coaching with Tess, it's going to. But if you need to do it on your own, just keep talking to people, and then move up the line. Then figure out where people you really want to talk to are and talk to them. And we've got some pretty good videos on touch, 3 secrets to touch, that sort of thing. You may want to have a watch of them 2 or 3 times. Any questions, Ralph, on how to get over cold approaching? I think you're German, but it's like people who are scared of going into cold water. I swim all year round in Bondi Beach. It's like if you swim in Australia in summer, other than maybe Melbourne, even in Melbourne, it's great. You go in the water, it's going to be cold, it's going to be cold, it's going to be cold. And you go in and like 2 minutes later, this is so good. Why was I scared in the first place? So often that's what approaching is like if you've got half a clue. And you can go from having a really bad day to going up and talk to a girl, and 5 minutes into talking to the girl, they're like, my life's great, this is unreal. So yeah, it's the fear is dramatically bigger. It's like an inauthentic fear of failure. There's really not that much failure that can be had. The Me Too movement's shifted that a little bit. But yeah, it's just something you got to do. This is really disrespectful. I don't see how you can be a man until you can walk up to a pretty girl and just say hi and start a conversation. So I don't care how many degree jiu-jitsu black belt or how many hundreds of millions of dollars you got. You're living a very, very narrow, small life if you can't do that, because you're stuck in your relationships. You don't get any respect from the women you're with. It's horrendous.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree with what James has said. You know, the more you actually practice the skill of just being outgoing, basically, and trying to connect with people, then yeah, the easier it becomes to overcome that approach anxiety when you actually do get a woman who you are physically attracted to. So yeah, you just want to build that muscle by practicing. Practice, speaking to people whenever you get the chance. Yeah. And James, did you have anything else to add to that? Or we've got another comment here. If you guys have any more questions, put them in the comments for us in the chat, and we'll address them. But Rambala was saying the dating culture is different in 2025. 30% of Gen Z men are incel. Gen Z girls are hugely entitled and want dudes that are top tier, even if they are below average. Okay, that's an interesting comment. James, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, sure. you're not wrong, but you're not 100% right either. What's happened is people have looked at stats from dating apps, and yeah, the top 5% of men, the top 10% of men get most of it. The top 1% get a huge percentage of that most. The bottom 50 get 0, and 50%, whatever, 10% get not much. So that's 100% true. And all the whatever you want, the 20-somethings, they're all going after that top 10% of men, and in many cases, the top 1%. The girls I know is I'm dating a high status guy. That's the term. We're dating a model, and they're dating a high. So the models are dating the high status guys, and the high status guys are dating the models, and all the rest of us want to join that elite club. So this is all true, but it's not really true, because you've just got to meet a girl at the tennis club and have a good connection with her and touch her on the shoulder a little bit. The high status guys who are just flogging her direct messages on Instagram, yeah, I mean, a lot of the time it's just amusement. A lot of those super high status guys, they've actually got teams of people mass DMing girls on their behalf. They're not actually doing it themselves. So the girls like whatever. Oh, some rapper who went to the Grammys likes me. No, his VA in the Philippines messaged you because you met the broad definition of a hot girl who looked like she might be up for it the night he's in town. But the women get, oh, yeah. I've had my female coaches tell me that this celebrity messaged me. I'm like, I don't say it, but I go, it's probably his assistant's VA in the Philippines. So yeah, it's high status guys have teams around them just to harness dates from them, like Harvey Weinstein sort of, except they use online methods. They're a lot more ethical than Harvey Weinstein. So this is all true, but you just got to do what we told Ralph. Just go up to a girl, wow her with conversation, fix your style up a bit, read her signals a bit well. I mean, what happened to me today is the perfect example. I'm tired as hell. Okay, who's a frequent flyer here? I did an overnight flight from Jakarta to Sydney with Garuda. And I was at 7 hours or something. And I need this sleep because I had to work like a full day and then do this YouTube live in a new place and get some food, because I'm a bit fussy with food. And so anyway, I probably got 4 hours sleep or something, 4.5 hours sleep. Then someone just keeps poking me in the shoulder over and over again, like 30 or 40 times, till I go, and then when I say, what? They go, breakfast. I go, no, I don't want breakfast. Go away. Has anyone ever been woken up on a plane like that when they're trying to sleep? There's another 3 hours on the flight. Sorry for my little rant there. But the point I'm making is, after that, I went to get my food. After I got my food, I wanted to get some stuff I needed. I wanted to get some vitamin C and some stuff to take overseas, some quality stuff. I started talking to the naturopath, who, I don't know, most of you would call her an 8.5 or something. She wasn't in her 20s anymore, but she was an attractive girl. And I don't think she found me particularly attractive. I'm dressed like a homeless person. I had this hat on and my hair was everywhere. I hadn't brushed my teeth. Good open-ended questions, good eye contact, a little bit of encouragement. Oh, so you've read that book. It's a great book. She just keeps going and going and going and going and going. I eventually get a free naturopath consultation. If she'd been 10 years younger and a few different metrics and whatever, yeah, I might have just got off a plane feeling miserable and met my next girlfriend. It's just all the things Tess, you can do it on a call with Tess tomorrow, and the link will be in the chat for the overseas guys. It's just the open-ended questions, the touch, the eye contact, the body language, the reading women's signals. Like, I mean, I'm a lot more advanced than Leslie. Like, I could tell she likes me. I could tell, oh, I've got a couple of things I'm going to ask her about. So I'm starting to mirror her body language a bit. copy what she does. And she ends up the session. She's like taking my pulse for 15 minutes. That's one of the reasons I'm a bit late tonight. Because, I mean, this girl went from the high status, pretty hot girl in the naturopath with all the expertise to giving me a free session worth $250 essentially, to trying to pick me up by holding my pulse and touching my neck and looking in my eyes the whole time. So she had no interest in me when I walked in there. It was just the skills I applied. So yes. Dating in 2025 is very skewed. 30% of Gen Z men are incel, that's a word for they don't have sex anymore, incelibate or something.
Voluntarily celibate.
Yeah. Gen Z girls are hugely entitled and want dudes that are top tier, even if they're below average. That's all true if you look at the online world. But the offline world, we're in Yugoslavia in 1990, where it's a 13-to-1 ratio. No men are approaching, no men are dating, all the men are scared, no men can read signals, all men are screwed in bed, all men have no testosterone left because of the crap they're eating and putting in their bodies. All our Christmases have come at once. Just give up on freaking apps or trying to have this perfect Instagram and just mass DM girls when you compete against celebrities with teams of VAs doing it for them, and just go say hi to a woman at the tennis club or walking the dog or at the beach and do the open-ended questions, do the touch, do the eye contact. You'd just be astounded what can happen. And it's never, ever been easier, maybe since World War II. I don't know. Sorry?
No, I completely agree with that. And you then become one of these top tier men because you can present yourself that way. You have the skills to present yourself that way. Right now, it's interesting that you say the dating culture is different in terms of girls being hugely entitled and wanting being able to be selective, I guess. I feel like that's probably been the case throughout all time, because women, I don't know, it'd be interesting to do some sort of social study. One woman walks into a bar and just asks 10 different men, hey, do you want to go have sex with me? How many of them are they going to say yes? Maybe all 10, and an average woman, I mean. And if an average guy walks into a bar and asks 10 women, hey, do you want to have sex with me? How many women are going to say yes?
Right.
Exactly. So it is just because evolutionarily women have a lot of risk when it comes to having sex with a man. We potentially can have children and have to deal with that. And so it's just ingrained into us. We're going to be selective about who we allow to be intimate with us and who we date, etc. So that's just the dating game. It's that's not going to change. So guys, unfortunately, you do have to impress women if you want them to say yes. And like James was saying, it actually doesn't take too much for you to come across as a guy who is in that top tier in terms of social skill and impressing women. You've just got to learn how to do that. And these are skills that fewer and fewer men have nowadays. So it doesn't take that much for you to stand out above the crowd. There's a real opportunity there.
But women are so desperate. They are so desperate. I don't know if they've ever been this desperate before, because they're not getting the attention they have for years and years and years. They might be getting it in their DMs, but that's very different to getting it in the real world. Just go say hi to a girl, do 5 of the things that Tess and I teach you at average level, and you'll just be completely astounded by what can happen over the course of, say, a sample size of 20. Might not happen the very, very, very first time you do it. But yeah, you'll do it once, you go off and talk to your therapist about it and get over the trauma, and then you might get back and do it 3 months later if you want the inner game, guys. I'm going to do a new inner game course. Social media has ruined Gen Z women. Porn has ruined Gen Z men. You're probably right about the porn. What age is Gen Z?
I think Gen Z is like late 1990s to into the 2000s. I think that's Gen Z.
Yeah, I mean, I've slept with quite a few of them. Like, people have these generalizations that, based on dating app data, are true. But then I am not a big fan of Australian women or American women at all. But then look, I haven't dated Tess, so I can't comment with 100% certainty. But look at her. She went to selective school. She was a model. She's got 3 degrees. She paraglides. She surfs. She camps. She's got a degree in Chinese medicine. She's a body worker. She's got all these hobbies and interests. So yeah, most Australian women are pretty fucking wretched, but this one's not. And if you hang out with her, you'll probably find a group of other girls similar to her. So it's like the women is like sort of mining for gold. There's a lot of freaking digging to do if you've got no idea of what the gold is. But what you'll find is, where you find some gold, even in Australia, you find some gold, and then you find this little river of gold. And the thing about this little river of gold, as in high quality women in a country like Australia, is they want you as a woman more than you want them. This has been my experience over and over again. I talk about all the metrics I have for women and how absurd they are. But when I meet one of those girls, it's like, you know, I do half a dozen things right, and they're the ones throwing themselves at me, up until it comes that time where it's to stick it in there. And then there's a whole bunch of games and tests I got to break through. So yeah, there's all these, and you got to remember there's the red pill community. I don't know how many subscribers a lot of these people have. That girl, Pearly Things, who's very, very smart, by the way. I don't agree with a lot of what she says, but she's a very smart girl. She knows how to stir male resentment towards women. The sort of red pilly guys. You know who Pearly Things is? I believe she was backed by the Ben Shapiro mob. So she's obviously a very, very clever girl. I don't know if this might be value to you. So these red pill people who just go promote this line over and over and over again, the number one woman of them, she was actually handpicked and made into a media figure by Ben Shapiro, who I think is worth $150 million. Does anyone know who Ben Shapiro is? So yeah, it's just, this is clickbait. This is clickbait. Like, Western women are wretched and awful. Like, guys, click on that shit. And it's true a fair bit of the time, but in some cases it's just completely and utterly not true. So, I mean, I wouldn't have dated her, but the naturopath I met today, I mean, she was lovely. She had leg, and she was feminine, and she knew a huge amount about health. She seemed reasonably smart. She wasn't like a man at all. So, I mean, most guys in their 40s or 50s or even late 30s would be very, very happy with this woman. But you just need to go out your way to find her and start a conversation. The other thing about a woman is, if they've got a guy they really want, they just stop looking. I'm not saying all of them, they just stop looking. Whereas men are very different. It's like, I've been with the love of my life and I'm still like, yeah, it's just, we seem to have, so women aren't men. So that's quite Shapiro. Shapiro's a Zionist. Oh, Pearl, I thought he backed her. I thought or maybe she was backed by the people behind Milo Yiannopoulos. I could have my facts incorrect. Anyway, one of those people who get these media stars and blow them up completely. I was quite sure it was Shapiro, but I've been wrong before. Ralph has one.
When I walk up to an attractive woman and talk to her, I'm afraid I'm interrupting her. or she'll think, oh, here comes another just average looking guy who wants to bang me. I know it's stupid. You know, it's not stupid to think that way. Like, if you're, yeah, if you don't make a strong first impression, it's not going well, she probably will start to think that, oh God, here we go again. So yeah, I understand why, why there might be a bit of hesitation there. Um, I'm afraid I'm interrupting. Oh, as in you're afraid you're interrupting what she was in the middle of. Okay. So the thing is, Ralph, if you're approaching a woman or a group of women, attractive women, and you're like, oh, hi, sorry, I hope I'm not interrupting. Um, I'm Ralph. What's your name? You know, how's she going to take that? If they're really nice and lovely, she'll probably be like, "It's okay, Ralph. Like, we're nice. Like, hi, I'm Tess." But they're not going to be like, "Oh, this guy's sexy. This guy's who's this guy? Oh, I'm interested. Oh, wow." She is going to be thinking, "Okay, how's this going to go?" Because yeah, you're afraid of interrupting, you're not being assertive, you're asking for permission to be there. They're going to be like, you're basically asking them to question whether you belong there or not. But if you actually go into that interaction with confidence and presence and masculinity and assertiveness and introduce yourself in a way that they're going to respond well to, then this is all the stuff we teach. Then no, she's not going to be thinking, oh God, who's this guy? She's going to be thinking, oh, hello, hi, I'll talk to you. So yeah, it doesn't take too much, but you've just got to learn the skill of how to actually do that. So yeah, don't be afraid of interrupting. If you are interrupting and she says, hey, you're interrupting, can you go away? Then all you have to do is say, oh, sorry, I didn't realize. It was nice to meet you. I'll let you get on. Obviously, there are actually ways of getting beyond that, but just if you're actually doing this on your own without having learnt the skills, then you can always just apologize and leave. There's no problem with that. So
yeah, if it looks like she's really into what she's doing and focused on what she's doing, I mean, guys have some reading signals ability, it's woeful, then that might not be the best one. But you just got to be really apologetic if you screw up. So, I'm really sorry. But sometimes a girl will reject you and it's actually a test because she likes you. Let me see. When I walk up to an attractive woman and talk to her, I'm afraid I'm interrupting her, or she'll think, oh, here comes another average looking guy who wants to bang me. I know it's stupid. I was getting clients to approach at a bookstore, and there's quite a big elevator there. And one girl got approached 2 or 3 times, and she was really, really mean to one of them for no reason whatsoever. She was just one of those BATCHs. And anyway, she walks out and she's like, her hips are swaying back and forth, and she's got this spring in her step, and she's walking like this, like she's some model on a catwalk, and she wasn't. But like she was really nasty to a guy. But it was the highlight of her day. Oh, I got to blow a guy out like all the hot girls. I had such a good day today. Women love men coming up, hitting on them. It's the best thing that can happen, as long as you're not a pickup artist being a weirdo. But if you're in the top 10% of women, or particularly the top 5%, let alone top 2, you don't want to be hit on because you've had it so much. It's just annoying and you're going to deal with it. But women who aren't in that top few percent, it's like the highlight of their day. Even the really hot girls, it's like they still get significance out of it. And you got to remember, in 2025, it doesn't happen that much anymore.
Exactly. Guys aren't doing it. In fact, women get frustrated when they're like sending signals and they want men to approach them and they don't. It is so frustrating. So don't be afraid that you're interrupting. If you're able to read those signals and you know which women are they're inviting the approach. Do it, make her day. I hear this constantly. It's just so frustrating for women. We hate having to make the first move. So please, guys, please do it.
A lot of you guys complain about toxic relationships. The reason you're in a toxic relationship is because you were the best thing around the girl at the time, and she had to pick you up, and she's been wearing the pants. She's been in total control from the very start. So because whatever, you pay the bills, or you look nice in a dinner jacket at a restaurant or something, or you're sort of pleasant with her family, she's ended up with you, but she controls you, and then she gets pissed off with you, or you're not man enough, and she's just... So yeah, if you start by being this confident guy, it completely changes the tables of a relationship worth meeting, or a dating app, or through your social group or something. We'll be good.
Oh, James, that's okay. James has just dropped out for a second. I'm sure he'll be back in a second. Here we go. Hi, James. We had another question from Luke. Tess, what are the signs she's open to being approached? Okay. Lots of different signs. Some might be more subtle than others. The big obvious ones are women who are laughing really loudly, trying to obviously draw attention. Their body language, which is like, in a implied social setting, like a bar, let's say, they're open, they're facing the broader, space, not just closed body language with a girlfriend or something like that. Open body language, laughing, like I said, flipping their hair and looking over their shoulder a lot, like, oh, who's that? Oh, who just walked in? These sorts of things. Those are a lot of just basic ones. If you're scanning a room, trying to decide who's open and who's not. And then there are a lot of other signals as well once you start the interaction that show you that she's interested. Playing with hair and jewelry and stuff is a big one. I won't go into too much, but yeah, those are some of the ones to look for in the beginning.
One of the biggest lessons of reading signals is a lot of signals women send, and women send different signals depending who they are, depending what they got. If they got like something, they stick that thing out. If they've got thick hair, they do that. If they've got long legs, they might twine their legs or something. But the thing is, okay, when I was very, very promiscuous, and I'd actually brought my 2 bi girlfriends into the place I was working, there's a fairly attractive girl in her 30s there, and every time she's talking to me, she's giving it this one. I'm like, oh, this girl wants me. This girl wants me. Anyway, so whatever, my ego got satisfied, and then there's some short, ugly, old, bald, smelly guy she's talking to. She's still giving it this one. She's sitting working on her computer, sort of doing whatever she's doing. She's just sitting twiddling her hair as well. So yeah, you've got to, it's like reading signals is like, it's a sentence or sometimes a paragraph, which is where it's not quite as simple as, oh, she's tossing her hair, therefore she wants you to have sex with her or at least approach her. So you have to be able to read the sentence. So if you just have the word fuck in a sentence, you might assume 2 people are fornicating, but it depends what the rest of the sentence is. It depends how the sentence is said. It could be fuck, as in leading up to abuse. It could be some guy asking a girl for sex. So yeah, it's a little more complicated. And then when you do see the signals, you need to know how to react to those signals, because different signals can often have a different reaction to them as well. And yeah, you can't just take 1 or 2 and decide, okay, I rest my case, this girl wants my body, or this girl doesn't want my body. Because like pulling a ring on and off a finger could mean she's thinking about leaving the guy she's with. It could mean she's thinking about doing this to a certain part of your anatomy. It could mean it's a hot, sweaty day and her ring's a bit tight or something. Or it could just be she's bored and whatever. So yeah, you got to be able to read the actual context of the lot. Which yeah, Tess and I, the most popular thing in our course, which guys rave about, is the reading signals one. So yeah, there's a link in the chat. And you Americans and Europeans, there's a link in the chat in the replay too. So I think we might have to wrap up now. We're about close to time, unless anyone's got some ripper question to share with us. Summing up, modern dating over 40 sucks. Q&A with beautiful catwalk model and 54-year-old male dating coach. Yeah, it sounds grim. Dating apps have ruined it. The high status girls are getting murdered with DMs from high status guys on Insta. You're not a celebrity or a rapper or a basketball player or a billionaire. What possible hope could you have? The hope you have is you grow something called testicles and you get some skills to support those testicles, like touch, eye contact, body language. Maybe you get a bit of training from this lovely one here. And you just go up to a girl, sort of place you like to hang out. It's in line with your hobbies and interests. And you say, hi, how's your day? My name is, what's that you're eating? How's the coffee today? Is that the new iPhone? Just nice weather today. Just use the stuff that old ladies use on you at bus stops. Just get started, but do it with a warm, friendly, non-sexual, non-pickup artisty, non-sleazy vibe, and just try to get to know people. Don't just talk to Tess. Talk to the ugly girls. Talk to some old ladies. Talk to other people. And then it's just natural for you to talk to strangers. For you busy guys who don't have time to walk around all day talking to random people to get warmed up, book a session with Tess and get the skills at lightning speed. But yeah, just have an afternoon or something to do it. Because yeah, it's just, it really, truly, honestly is so easy right now because most guys have given up. They have given up. Many of the high value, high status guys, their girlfriends are seeking arrangement girls because they're scared of the Me Too movement. One of the reasons they're so scared of the Me Too movement is because they don't have the skills. They're worried that they go on a date and it goes a bit pear-shaped and things go wrong and they end up in some real bother. So yeah, thank you so much to our regulars. This one was a bit rushed, but you guys seem to hang around and like it. We got a good view time tonight, potentially thanks to Tess, and putting the little blue things about what we're talking up on the screen. I think that was a fine innovation we came up with tonight. We'll need to be more on top of that next time. So yeah, we're not doing many more Aussie boot camps whatsoever, I don't think. So if anyone wants to have a crack at that, you'd want to jump in. Hopefully we'll be doing some in other places and really focusing on the online training. Anyway, thanks so much to regulars. Thanks so much to lovely Tess. And yeah, I think we'll see you guys next time. We're going to have a Sunday off, I would suspect, next week because we'll be working our little tails off very, very hard at this time next week, rounding out the boot camp. So yeah, you should see us 2 weeks from now. So we'll miss you and keep smiling, and bye for now.
Bye for now, guys. Thank you for all your awesome questions tonight. Thanks for the regulars and thanks for some of the new guys as well. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. That always helps us. And yeah, as James said, we're not going to be here next week. And I'm actually going on a holiday as well after, so I might not be here in the next few weeks. So if you guys want to take up that opportunity to book in with me in the next couple of days, that's probably going to be one of the only opportunities in the next month or so. So please book in because it might be now or not in a little while. So
is it that long? You have to tell me about it when I finished.
No,
Anyway,
I'm not going away for too long, but I'm not going to be here every week, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So yeah, thanks again, guys, and looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and Tess is getting stupidly busy now. See you guys. Oh, Nene, please give that to us next time. We'd love to have it. Cheers.
See you guys. Bye.